I got the metro to Lusail for the Brazil-Serbia game, and it was like you were on a float at the Rio Carnival. It was amazing, and they were really enjoying that Argentina had lost their first game, just singing, you know, Messi ciao, Messi ciao, Messi ciao, ciao, ciao.
What have we got today? Yes, I'm going to Argentina and Mexico, and I really hope that Argentina stays in the tournament longer than the first 3 games. There has been clashes actually between Mexican and Argentinian fans in Doha a couple of nights ago. There really isn't a rivalry between these two sides, but there are always idiots everywhere. So that's that. Then we have to film and record for 5 Live, a little bit of a chat with James Horncastle and Raphael Honigstein, as you know, they're here with me. And yes, we'll go through what it's like to live together and the big game tonight, Spain-Germany. I want Spain to win, but I don't want Germany to go, Raphael Honigstein to have to go home. I hope not. Anyway, coffee first. So, who's left this here? Damn, goes to the bin. The famous cups with no logos. I'll give you a different angle of the house today. This one.
And then...
Toothpaste or... I don't know what it is. Some white stuff.
Yeah,
Right, fab. I reckon we have to just do it the way I said.
First thing I want you to hear from the guys is how it's working for all of us to live in the same place. I'd say it's fun, but let's hear what they have to say. How are you?
Good morning. I'm just happy that I'm still here at this point.
Yes.
Not for long, Raph, not for long.
Possibly not for... Oh, talk again, James?
Not for long.
Is that a Craig David voice?
It is. Rafa and I were out late last night. I would say we were working. You know how late the games go in Qatar, but no, we were at a Craig David kind of concert, yeah.
I need to congratulate you. You managed to find some time for some social life.
Well, we were networking, Guillem. This is how you do these things, you know, it's context building. You never know what Craig David might be able to bring.
How many contacts did you make? Who was the new member of your very busy book list?
I can't tell you the contacts I make in clubs.
Yeah, our sources are being protected right here, Guillem. So
you went to Craig David concert, and I went to a Monsoon Wedding, the musical. That's my little corner of cultural life, because it has been a busy week for all of us. I mean, in fact, we hardly been together.
Yeah,
believe in the same house.
Yeah, we've been to a Craig David concert every night. That's
is that why you weren't here?
No, it has been busy, and also the games go very late, so 10 p.m. finish middle of the night. So yeah, sometimes we are passing like ships in the night, so to speak.
Anyway, I was saying that we are in the dining table of the living room of the townhouse we're living in. Help me to describe the place. So it's an open kitchen that is next to this massive living room with 3 big sofas, a big television next to it, of course. And then you go upstairs, first floor, it's your 2 rooms, plus Grand Wall, who's with us as well. And then I have to go an extra floor for mine.
Yeah, penthouse Guillem.
Yes, penthouse. It's very tiny, my room. Who got the big room? And we are looking at Rafi right now.
I was happy to draw lots, but somehow
How big is it?
I lucked out. No, it's a nice size, I'd say.
Yeah. I arrived last, so I'm currently living on the terrace. That's it.
The tent.
Yeah, the tent.
I haven't seen you in the pool though. I'm surprised. I've used it quite a lot.
Oh yeah?
In the mornings, yes. You have breakfast and you go for a bit of a swim.
Okay.
You mix with the people around here. That's what you do in the morning. That's what I do in the morning.
Yeah, I work in the morning.
Yeah, so I hear. And in the evenings as well, apparently.
He's context building at all hours. That's the thing.
Now I want you to listen to this man. We're heading to the media center. When I asked him that from now on, We're going to have to deal with 2 World Cups. The football one and the, how do we call it, the social one, the other one? The
very political one.
The very political one. And that's what he had to say. James, it feels like there is no turning back. We looked at Russia a little bit superficially. We looked at China in the Olympic Games without going into depth. But this is a World Cup in which we've seen things, described things, and there's no turning back. From now on, wherever we go, we will have to look that way at the tournament, no?
Absolutely. You know, the tone was set. You could say from the rights to the tournament being awarded to Qatar, but also the tone was set from Gianni Infantino's opening remarks before the first game of the tournament.
I have very strong feelings, I can tell you that. Today I feel Qatari. Today I feel Arab. Today I feel African. Today I feel gay. Today I feel disabled. Today I feel a migrant worker.
Where he was only supposed to speak for 15 minutes and ended up speaking for an hour. And, you know, I think as Rafi has said, it's as much as Infantino has tried to tell federations to stick to football, he hasn't been able to stand by his own guidelines. He himself has spoken about politics, he's brought politics into it, and it has been very hard to avoid. You know, we've seen reports of journalists, photographers going into games, not just Grant, with you know, something as small as a kind of a rainbow-coloured watch, and not being allowed to go into a game. It's something where you feel sensitive to it at all times, and whether that should actually be part of a sporting event, whether that should be part of the consideration for FIFA when ultimately they consider who is applying for the right to bid for a World Cup. I don't know, because as angry as Gianni Infantino seemed to be at all the scrutiny that Qatar was getting, I mean, ultimately, what do you expect? So yeah, it's obviously I'm far too young to remember Argentina in 1978. I obviously didn't attend it; I wasn't born, but it does feel like we're at that kind of level of controversy, really, for a World Cup.
Finally, we hear Rafi and I talking about the big game tonight, Spain, Germany. I don't want Germany to go. I really don't. I don't want Rafi to go. Not so early. You fell in the group stages in 2018 and in the last 16 against England in the recent Euros. Another fall from grace is unthinkable, is it?
It was before the game against Japan. Now I think it's probably probable. It's realistic to assume that they might get knocked out, because in the heads of the Germans, I think the Spain game was always going to be a possibility of a bad result, draw or defeat, and the idea was that it doesn't matter that much because you win the other 2 games. And having lost against Japan, that thinking goes out the window, and now they've got backs to the wall. They need to win both games, realistically, to go through. And you don't really want to go into a game, second group stage game against Spain, having to win. It's just a really bad starting point for a team that created a lot of chances, played good football for 65 minutes, but also showed some of the weaknesses. And I don't think it'd be very hard, let's say, to have full confidence going into this game.
Do you know that we admire you in Spain and feared you since the beginning of time, football-wise? You were the reference. But in the last 10 meetings, we beat you 4 times, including the final in the Euros 2008, the semis of the World Cup in 2010, the 6-0 in Sevilla, and you beat us twice. How do you see us now? How do you see Spain in Germany?
It's very difficult to answer, because I'm not sure there is a clearly defined view of what this Luis Enrique Spain is yet. we've seen promises, we've seen some good stuff, but we've also seen Spain play some really bad football under Lusail with bad results. The Costa Rica result will make everyone take notice and think, okay, this is a proper team, but I think it's probably a bit too early to judge. Just as England was seen as world beaters, having beaten a distracted Iran on the opening day, now they sort of come back down to earth with that pretty drab 0-0 against USA, and maybe the same trajectory. I'd love to see it for Spain, getting beaten convincingly on Sunday by Germany, and then we will have a different discussion. But as I said, there isn't, I think, yet a real sense of Spain is in this kind of category. They're kind of in between. They're not underdogs, they're not favourites, they're kind of sort of in the middle section of second-rate teams, but second-rate as a complement in this competition, who might do something.
Let me tell you the things that we don't do very well. We cannot cross the ball to the box, as no one is going to head it. We don't shoot from outside the box, but nobody thinks of that. We don't defend half of the pitch, as the last defender is in the halfway line. We're not physical, we're too young, we don't have a number 9. We really are a little bit different, and we are all surprised.
A lot of it sounds like Germany.
Yeah, but we just go and be all of a sudden very effective. 8 shots on target against Costa Rica, 7 goals. You've got all that, and you've got the used to be a criticism, the youth, the lack of experience, and yet you saw a team that read very well what was happening against Costa Rica and were very hungry. So the players that were coming on just kept the level up. How do you stop somebody like that, considering that even though you want the ball and you want to dominate, your own players are saying some of the players that we've got don't want the ball? That's what was said, no?
Well, they didn't want the ball at some stage. That was the criticism, that there was not enough movement, not enough responsibility taken. I don't think it's actually inherently a problem that these players don't want the ball, because you have a lot of technical players who actually love the ball. It's just more in the reference to what the moment or the situation brought. There are some issues, I think, with the passing from the back, which for a possession team then becomes difficult. Germany really struggled once Japan pushed them high. When Japan sat back, Germany controlled the game beautifully, was quite slow but created chances. When Japan pushed up, Germany created chances but had a lot more problems building up properly. And I think if Spain see that, they will press them really high and think, you know what, these guys are not that comfortable passing through the back in an orderly fashion, and they have to go long, and we don't have those players either that win those long or second balls. So that would be Spain's game plan, I'm sure, to disrupt the German supply lines. But Hansi Flick was asked, is this the time to change the system? Is this the time to play 3 at the back? Is this the time to be more defensive? And he was basically saying, yes, things are bad, but they're not as bad, that we now have to completely jeopardize our idea and go to just playing on the break and just sitting back. I don't think this team can do it.
By the way, have you checked already Recycling Lives? I'm telling you, you have to see it. You have to see what they do. It's a charity. The title, the name tells you everything. People that have gone through difficulties, and they manage to recycle them, if you like, through recycling. Mysterious, intriguing, isn't it? Go and have a look. It's one that I want to support, and I will be doing so during the whole tournament. So go on, check. Anyway, I better let you continue with the show, chappers. Back to you.
And if you could just say, anyway, better let you continue with the show. Juliet, back to you.
Juliet.
As well.
Juliet. Anyway, I better let you continue with the joke. But with the joke. I better let you continue. No, but anyway, I better let you continue with the joke. Who?
Juliet.
Show.
Anyway, I better let you continue with the show. Juliet, you can stop recording. It's just one link.
So much for participating. No more photos from now on, but you're welcome to stay in the room. Next question here in the second row, please.
Not watching that. Watching this. Because of United. Ryan and Nick doing a great job commentating. It's 1-0. We're losing against a team 2 divisions below. It's a cup competition. You know how it goes. No comments about the referee. And I just hope we can turn this around. And then I'll start thinking of Argentina, Mexico.
That win might have been on our side there a little bit. It's Cameron Hyde. It's left-hand side for Biggleswade United. Cameron Hyde takes the cross on. It's in! What a finish by Cameron Hyde! And Biggleswade United have levelled it in stoppage time. Jabba gets Hunt away. He's 1-on-1 and he scores! Biggleswade United have won it! Gareth Hunt for Biggleswade United have won it at the death! Guillem says, my chair broke as I celebrated in the media centre of Argentina versus Mexico, but I'll keep that going because now it's Brahim, it's Taylor Whiteley to win it for Biggleswade! And it's over now because Taylor Whiteley gets on the act. Brilliant play by Jabba to play it through to Taylor Whiteley, and a 6-goal thriller finishes in favour of Biggleswade United. And it's Taylor with his 29th for the season. It's Wovington 2, Biggleswade United 4.
I've arrived very early, but it's worth it because there's nobody around, and I found this golden ball of a stadium, which is where the final is going to be played. Impressive, but nobody around. So that's where Argentina will try to beat Mexico. Yes, we all want Messi to go far, but they need to play better. I think everybody's very aware of it. In the press conference, as I told you yesterday, basically Lautaro Martinez said that they made mistakes, they didn't play well. But I expect much more from Argentina. Let's see what we get. Let's see. Fingers crossed. We are waiting here for the Argentinian players to arrive and pass by and see which mood they're in. And also we're waiting from here, from the mix zone, to hear Leo Messi as he has been voted man of the match. Let's get some conclusions about the game that was so emotionally tense, crazy. Let me start with what Scaloni has said in the press conference, which was, really, it's just a game. This was on the back of a question about the tears of Pablo Aimar when Leo Messi scored the first goal. Scaloni is trying to say to everyone, including the journalists and the media, the people, you don't sort out anything with a game, it's just a game. But the emotional state of everyone could be seen in those tears. Pablo Aimar, his assistant, and Leo Messi's hero. In the reaction of Leo when he scored, in the reaction of the fans, in the reaction of the journalists around me, jumping and hugging. It was the most tense game of this generation. And it's just a game. Why is it like that? I've got my theory, having studied Argentina a lot for the Messi book and the Pochettino book and the Maradona book. And I find that in the 70s, Argentina were told that with Japan, they would be the developing countries, they will be at the top of the scale, they will be, close to America and Russia and so on. And it didn't happen. So the frustration of that gets translated into that frustration, but also they are looking for signs that suggest that they are special, that they are a big country, and they are, but they are at the top of that scale. And football gives them that sometimes. So losing was inconceivable, losing today, being knocked out, because they had the excess of confidence, let's put it that way, of coming to the World Cup to play the semi-finals almost. In fact, some fans have booked the quarter-finals and the semi-finals. You have to play, and it's very difficult to beat teams like Mexico that played with 5 at the back and 4 in front of them, and it was really difficult to beat them. But to open up that kind of situation, to change the dynamic, you need a moment of genius, and only Messi. So that if he kicked the ball at the right place, at the right pace, he would go in the right position that so Ochoa wouldn't reach. And after that, everything became easier, including the inclusion of Enzo Fernandez, that gave more fluidity to the side, Julian Alvarez, who kept going on with the job that Lautaro Martinez had been doing, trying to stretch the defense and create a space for others. But there is not much fluidity in Argentina. They need to improve a lot to be real candidates, a lot. But it's clear that this one was an emotional game, that they had to win no matter how, in a way, and they're coming out now. But anyway, that's all I had to say about the game. Still a lot to play for in this group.
2 o'clock in the morning, and we're still trying to make our way home. It's a lot of fun. The Argentinians, they're happy. I just follow them, see where that gets us.
See you tomorrow.